again. It's Nancy MacLaren, the Broad Abroad. I'm back with some Ireland. I'm back with Galway, which turned out to be my favorite place in, well, first of all of Ireland. And maybe even, well, Paris is a little bit more, but it really holds something deep in my heart. And I was only there 2 days, so that's why I'm going back. I'm going back in September. I'll be there for a week. You'll get a lot more stuff. Anyway, so you can see where Galway is. It's there on the west coast. It's sort of just exactly across from Dublin, as you can see. And in fact, the way they wanted us to take the train was to go back from Cork all the way back to Dublin and then over. And that just seems to be everything comes out of Dublin. We didn't do that. We decided, because I'm such a genius, we decided to go up the coast a little bit. And we stopped in a couple places like Limerick. Anyway, when we did get to Galway, we checked into our wonderful bed and breakfast. It was our favorite. It was laying in my favorite not bed and breakfast, Airbnb. And it's run by these two wonderful people that it was just so quaint and wonderful. And you can see it's got the two twin beds. It was a very, very small room. We shared a bathroom, and as you can see here, they had a very nice place for us to have breakfast. They always had breakfast stuff out, but it was weird. You know, it doesn't matter how big it is as long as you're really like the people. And the Brendan and Beatrice were just wonderful, and they were so wonderful that I've already booked with them for my Galway trip in September that I'm doing with Suzanne. So I hope Suzanne likes them as much as I did. We got up the next morning, we went in, we got on our hop on hop off, which we love our hop on hop off. So what can I tell you? So the name of the guide's name was Mike, and in the smaller towns we found that these hop on hop off tours were like, they were people that were doing the, you know, telling us about stuff. In the bigger cities, it would be recorded and you'd have a set of earbuds and stuff. But so Mike was really fun and apparently knows everybody in Galway. He was so fun, and we had paid for a 24-hour ticket, so we went and did it the second time. And oh gosh, we were singing. We were up on the top with good old Mike, and Mike announces that he sees us come up and he goes, "Oh, this is great. We're going to have a guest today who's going to do all the narration for you. She's from America and she knows nothing about Galway, but it'll be entertaining." And I'm like, no, I'm not doing I'm not doing the Galway narration for Mike. But it was very cute, and he was very funny and had a beautiful Irish accent, and I did take some video of him, but bed bugs. So we did our on and off tour, and that led us to be able to see, you know, the overview of Galway. And there it is. You can see it you can see the river. I mean, every place in Europe has a river. This one's called the River Corrib, and it might be the River Corv because it's Corrib, and sometimes they pronounce things differently than we do. What a shock. But as you can see, it's very beautiful. Just like most of Ireland. And then when you get here, you'll see that it's right on the bay. So Galway, in some ways, is kind of a peninsula. There's water all around it, and I did a little pan and zoom here so that you could see the famous Spanish Arch. So you can't see it very clearly, but that thing there is the Spanish Arch. That's one of their tourist things, events, attractions. It's free. You can go. It's great. I'm very proud of it. I think it's very old. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to Mike. This is the University of Ireland in Galway. And so the reason I even really knew about Galway was because my son, Colin, had gone there as an exchange student from the University of Oregon, and he spent a summer there and fell in love with the place. I thought, well, okay, I'll go there for a couple of days. And he was right. I fell so totally in love with the city. I can't even really explain it. I said Cork took my heart, but Galway took my soul. And maybe it was all the music. I'm not sure. Maybe it was the friendliness of the people, though Everyone in Ireland basically is super friendly. Anyway, so we finished our on and off, at least the first one, and we ended up in Eyre Square, Eyre, Eyre Square, I Square. Anyway, it's the main sort of landing place. In Portland, we have a thing called the Pioneer Square, which is right in the middle of Portland, and it's very similar. The thing that was really great about it was that it really made it hard to get lost in Galway, and because it leads right here onto the main thoroughfare. I was going to say the main shopping street, but that's not really fair because it has everything there, restaurants and yes, great shops, wonderful little shops. And then also the thing that I love the most is it had a lot of buskers. And if you, I mean, most of you know what a busker is, but if you don't, it's the people that play their guitar or their whatever, violin, and have their little thing open so you can give them money. And I hadn't really seen that many of them so far, but here on this street, you couldn't go more than half a block before there'd be another one. And some of them were really good. And I heard that Ed Sheeran had started. He was a busker on High Street here in Galway. And people were pissed about it because he's not Irish. The Irish and the English, no, you don't want to get in the middle of that. Street is not that long. It goes from Eyre Square out to the river, right where I showed you before, the bay. And it changes names 4 times. It starts out as Williamsgate, which was named after the old Norman, the Williams Gate, from when the Normans were here. Then it turns into Shop Street pretty quickly. It turns into Shop Street. Then it becomes High Street, and then it's Quay when it gets closer to the bay. And this about halfway through, you'll get to what is the famous Latin Quarter. I didn't understand why it was called the famous Latin Quarter. Maybe Latins were there? I don't know. But anyway, I was really, really looking forward to some live Irish music, and my son had told me that everywhere in Galway, every pub. But we went to this one. It's called Taffels. They had 2 different times they were going to have live music, one at 5:30 and one at 9:30 and 5. And so we went to the 5:30 one. And I'm going to say that all the music that you've been hearing so far in this all of the segments about Ireland are from this right there. These guys here. It's from these guys playing, and I have a lovely video which I'm going to show you. Enjoy this video. It's got little pictures of me and one of Lena, but it's mostly just music. So that was it for our time in Galway. Short and sweet, too short, very sweet. I'm so looking forward to going back, and hopefully I'll be taking you guys with me, which reminds me, if you are watching these, and it says that some people are, subscribe. I have only one more for Ireland, which is going to be Drogheda and Belfast together. And then we're taking the ferry to Scotland, and then you will get to see all my original videos and pictures. Anyway, so subscribe, like, whatever you want. And thank you for watching. And hopefully doing them in these little small versions. It's not like, oh, sit down and see the pictures of my vacation. It'll only take 3 hours. Hopefully this has been a little bit more entertaining. I hope so. So next week, Belfast. And that's it for me. The Broad, Nancy MacLaren. Bye.